What is up, Renaissance crew? I'm the original Renaissance man, Devon DaVinci, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. For today, my name will be the Black Onion because of the hat that I am wearing, because I have no time to be dealing with the way my hair has been looking right now. I don't feel like moisturizing it and combing it and picking it out and everything else, so I will just be wearing this hat for these reactions. I might be wearing it more in the future too, you never know. If I want to record something early and don't feel like messing with my hair at the time, I might just go ahead and throw this on so I can get some more videos out of the way. I have taken a small hiatus from making videos. I'm sorry I wasn't able to upload for the last couple of days. If anybody follows my Twitter, you know that I was having some internet issues, thanks Spectrum. And I had to wait until I had a technician come out and try to fix my internet problems. I don't think they really fixed it, but they did give me a new modem, so I'm guessing that might work. So hopefully it doesn't come back, but in case it does, I'm going to try to knock out some videos so I have at least something already uploaded so I can just release it if that were to happen. Anyway, this is a video that was requested by someone, but it was also something that I also planned on checking out anyway. So, I mean, thanks for the request, but I would have reacted to it regardless. Let me get the person's name just to give them their shout out. Let me give them their name. Okay, this was requested by I'm Malix on YouTube. It might have been requested by other people as well, but I don't feel like going that far down my comment section. So this video is called Most Offensive Jokes by Jimmy Carr. Anybody that knows, I did react to a Jimmy Carr segment already called Jimmy Carr Global Warming, and a lot of people said that he is very similar in regards to one-liners, kind of like Mitch Hedberg, and I heard people say Rodney Dangerfield is like the best one-liner of all time. He reminds me a lot of Anthony, I forgot his last name. I've reacted to him. You'll probably see a card maybe somewhere in here, and he is kind of like in line with that. Somebody that'll take you one way and then spin it on you and make you go somewhere else. I am curious to hear more of his offensive stuff. Anybody that wants to know if I have or haven't heard the African mosquito joke, I have. That's where I actually found out who Jimmy Carr was, because the last video he looked familiar to me and I'm like, okay, where did I see him from? And then I remember seeing that video about the whole AIDS Africa mosquito joke, and then I was thinking like, oh, that was him. That must have been him. So I went and looked up that joke again, and sure enough, it was Jimmy Carr. So let's go ahead and check this out and see what this has to offer. This is also part 1, apparently. Or there's other parts. I don't know if this is part of the same series.
I often get asked after the show, the most common question after a show is, what's the most offensive joke? What's the worst joke? Now, I don't think I can tell you the most offensive joke, because I think offence is taken, not given. That's not just an expression. That is how it tends to work. Different people take offence at different things. So I can't tell you what the most offensive joke is. But we could see. We could start gentle and work our way up and see at what stage, as an audience, you go, oh, for fuck's sake. Do you want to give it a go? Yeah! OK, well, let's start gently. Baby steps. All right, we'll start gentle. Very sad when Princess Diana died. And all London got was that shitty fountain. Still better than Paris. All they got was a slow down sign.
Damn.
No one that offended. But you should have heard the fuss when I suggested it on the Raw Variety. Do you remember where you were when you heard Diana died? Yeah. I was in Kensington Gardens thinking this place needs something. The Twin Towers was the best of the Lord of the Rings films. No, the Twin Towers. Do you think it would have seemed less tragic if they hadn't been twins? I'll be honest with you, I feel more sorry for the people in the second tower than the people in the first tower. Do you? Because the people in the second tower, imagine that. Imagine you getting to work one morning, the building next to yours, identical to yours, gets hit by a fucking plane. What's your first thought going to be? We dodged a bullet. Unlucky. 5 minutes later, oh, for fuck's sake. OK, you all seem fine so far. Let's go up a gear in terms of offence. Let's change tacks a little bit. People say dolphins are really intelligent. I think, yeah, but only compared to the retarded kids we got them swimming with. When a dog is on heat, it means it wants sex. That is my defence.
So you have some
It's a good area for
strange
offence, that, isn't it?
extracurricular
The
activities.
weird sexual things that other people do that you've heard about, you'd never dream of doing, but you've heard about. Felching is a good example. It's even a horrible word, felching. For those of you that don't know, felching is the retrieval of sperm from the anal canal via suction. I know. How mental's that? It's like fucking someone in the arse and then going, I take that back. No one offended by felching? Okay, let's go up another gear. I've got a friend that recently had an abortion. But on the positive
He said
side,
it's so angry.
Slimmer of the month. She got a badge and a round of applause. She can't believe her luck. On the subject of abortions, a lot of people support a woman's right to choose. But I think, if I'm paying for it... I'm joking, I never pay. It doesn't cost anything to fall down the stairs, does it? Some of these girls, I swear, they think I'm made of coat hangers.
Damn. No more wire hangers.
Well, I've got a few of you. Just a few of the hardcore not offended by anything so far. See if we can pick you off. I discovered the hard way, the worst way to start a benefit gig for abused children is with an apology. I said I was sorry, I don't see what the fuss was about. If men fall asleep directly after sex, why is it so difficult to catch a rapist? No one offended. Right, let's bring out the big guns. Hitler and Pol Pot. Unquestionably two of history's biggest cunts. But let's try and see the good in the bad. And both Hitler and Pol Pot managed to conduct an awful lot of medical research without hurting any animals.
I heard Hitler is actually
I put
like
it to you, if you're not
animal
even a little bit offended, you haven't really understood that.
enthusiast or whatever.
This next joke is just a simple piece of wordplay. It's a little turn on a very common phrase, yeah? Just a little bit of wordplay. The joke isn't about what the joke's about, if you follow me. It's about the wordplay. Yeah, you know it's going to be offensive if it comes with a little warning before. They say there's safety in numbers. Yeah? Tell that to 6 million Jews.
Damn. Damn. God damn.
Really, London? Really? A round of applause? Because to my mind, that should be the most offensive joke, not just in the show, but in the world ever. Because content-wise, that's a joke about the worst thing that's ever happened. The Holocaust. 6 million lives taken by an industrialised killing machine, the Nazis. That's the worst thing in human history, and that's a joke about that. But it's not that offensive a joke. It's not anti-Semitic, it's not racist, it doesn't hate anyone. I mean, it's in bad taste. I'll give you that. Because it's taking lightly something very serious, and that's like the definition of bad taste. I put my hand up to bad taste. Obviously, I'll put my hand up like that, not like that. That's only going to make things worse. Never high-five a rabbi. No, the most offensive joke in the world, if you judge it by offence caused, yeah, the kind of consequence of the joke, rather than the content of the joke, is actually a cartoon done 4 years ago, yeah? Caused more offence than any other joke in human history. It was of Muhammad with a bomb as a hat, done by a Danish man. There was protesting all over the Islamic world. They don't like iconography at the best of times. They certainly don't like people taking the piss. So there was protesting all over the Islamic world. Some of those protests turned into riots. 3 Danish embassies burnt to the ground, and 10 people lost their lives in rioting. All because of a joke about somebody's imaginary friend.
Yeah. And the ironic thing is...
I'll be honest with you.
The ironic thing is the people that do stuff like that, they, like, not just Muslims, but any religion, they claim that it's like a religion of peace and things like that. Like, oh, well, you know, it's all about being, well, it's not about being respectful or whatever. It's about being faithful and, you know, I always just had this idea, like, why the fuck do people take so much offense when someone insults God? When in all holy books, as far as I'm concerned, at least as far as like the Abrahamic religions, all holy books, God has not had a single problem with defending himself. he has not hesitated when it came to smiting a motherfucker or two. So somebody telling a joke about God and you think you're going to fucking step up and do something about it? How about you let your God do it? Something tells me that there's a reason why you always feel like you have to put matters into your own hands when people insult God. Maybe it's because you think God won't do anything.
I think some of the Islamic world slightly overreacted. I think the Iranian government slightly overreacted. They decided to boycott all Danish products. Now, I'm not sure they were doing a roaring trade in pornography, beer and bacon before. So that is, for what it's worth, the most offensive joke in the world ever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to the show tonight. Thank you so much for buying the DVD if you're watching this at home. Just a quick thing before I go. The worst thing about being told you've got Alzheimer's is it doesn't just happen the once. That's lovely, Jimmy Carr. Thank you very much indeed.
Like Groundhog Day.
Good luck with the face thing.
You know, every single time I watch Jimmy Carr, it just gets better and better and better. I don't know why, but he's like jumped into my top 5 comedians at this point. Like, easily jumped in my top 5 comedians. And this is only the second video I've watched of his. This particular segment, this offensive joke segment, is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. And I really do mean that. Like, it's one of the funniest things I've seen. And it's not just the fact that he says stuff that's offensive and like, oh, well, you're just telling crass jokes or something like that. But no, it's like there's context and there's double meanings, and he takes you one way and then he moves you another, and then like you don't expect the punchline to come, despite the fact that it's just like a one-liner. So like once he says one thing, you know the next line is going to be the punchline, but he takes you into one area and then just goes in the left field with the next joke, and it's, oh man, I'm a fan of his. What can I say? I'm a fan. And it's like the way he presents the joke also, it seems like somebody that's like polite and isn't trying to say anything fucked up, but in the end he just comes out and says some horrible shit. So, oh man, I want to thank you guys for requesting that. Like I said, it was a handful of people that requested it. I did give a shout out to the person that I got that requested it the most recently. And if you happen to have requested it, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. I will know if you requested it or not. So don't just go in the comment section saying, oh, I requested it and you didn't, because I will comment back like, no, you didn't. I will put you on blast in front of everybody in the comment section. So don't take credit for something you didn't do. Anyway, that's been this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to another video. I'll probably go ahead and do another request. And there's a compilation that I want to try to check out before I go ahead and wrap up today. But anyway, I am the Black Onion, Devon DaVinci. And I will hopefully see you on my next video. But until then, deuces.